My Comic-Con panels are officially announced. Friday, July 24th at 4 p.m. in room Grand 10 and 11 in the Marriott Marquis. Australian comic creators collaborating with the world, which is this year's update on IPI Comics. And people, I vouch that the matron from my friends David Bowles and Drew Edwards is chillingly good, though they are Texan and not Australian. The second panel is Convention Center Room 9 at 5 p.m. Devils and Dreamscapes, How Horror Comics Change the Way We See the World, moderated by Eisner nominee Jim Owsley. And yes, they are in two different buildings, and I will make them both. Suggestions on how to teleport, welcome. I'm Derek McCaw, and this is Fanboy Planet. Hey, Planeteers, welcome to the weekly stack. Apologies that this is appearing the week after the actual books came out, but such is life. Anyway, if you are new to this, the rules are simple, if you can call them rules. Each week, I go to House of Secrets in Burbank, California. Maybe you do too, or you go to your local comic shop. I pick up the books that I have pre-ordered through the catalog, and then I look through the shelves to see if something else has come out that might catch my eye. Or honestly, I'm not going to criticize for the last time that sometimes you just don't know looking through a catalog, do I want that? And then you see it on the stand and go, oh, or critical acclaim has built, etc. Anyway, then I go through the stack and I talk about maybe some standout books. I did pick up a couple of number 2 issues that were very good, and I'll call out quickly Seven Wives number 2 from IDW Crime and Altered States Warlords number 2 from Dynamite Entertainment. And that's just fun, pulpy goodness because I like John Carter of Mars. There's the promise of Tarzan, and Red Sun is already there. So dig it. And Seven Wives is an interesting murder mystery involving the, what do you call it, the RLDS? FLDS. That's what it is. It's a schism from the main Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so I don't know how realistic it is, but it's an interesting crime story. So I want to get to the number 1 issues today, if I may. First up is one from DC Comics, which is a kind of a film tie-in. I'm pretty sure the reason it exists is because we know that in the fall there will be a film, Clayface. So this is Clayface, Celebrity Dirt. Let me put on my magic lenses so I can read this now. By Jude Ellison S. Doyle. Fran Galan is the artist and cover artist. Patricio Del Pesce is in colors, and Tom Napolitano is the letterer. So this was fun. I, for whatever reason, love Clayface. I've probably referenced a time or two that, as a little kid, I had this book, Batman from the 30s to the 70s. And the original Clayface story was there, and that's Basil Karlo. And he wasn't really a Clayface. It was a mask. Like, he had played that in, I can't remember if it was supposedly a silent film or just an early 30s, maybe a pre-code. They didn't go into it. I just was fascinated by that as the, masked killer, and the Caped Crusader animated series on Prime has sort of brought that in. They also included the later, like Matt Hagen and so forth. This may be going back to Basil Karlo. It's really unclear, and that's what I kind of dig about it, because if you've been following Batman on and off for several years, there's more than one Clayface. There's 4. There was a lady Clayface. There's 5. There's apparently they've been tracking many, because the irradiated clay, I'm not even sure if that's still the reason why they have that power. Preston Payne, that's another Clayface that just popped into my head. Anyway, that there are many, and possibly, I guess if he separates, another one can grow. And so it's kind of fun because there's a Basil Carlo making movies, and it's angering this Clayface who may or may not actually be Basil Carlo, and another one's taking his place or something. We don't know, but it is a fun first issue. I do warn anybody who finds it fun because it looks a little cartoony, just a little bit. That the film is going to be absolute body horror. So don't think, oh, this is all pleasant. I mean, it's not. It's still, gross by comic book terms, but I just want to prep anybody for this being one of my favorite Batman villains, that it's going to be creepy, but the book is fun. So there we go. That would be Clayface, Celebrity Dirt #1. Next up is a celebrity created book from Dark Horse. And once again, the magic glasses go on. This is Witness Point #1, co-created by Nathan Fillion and Heath Corson, written by Heath Corson, and art is by Sue Lee. And this is a fun idea for a book, and it's, if you've seen either Goodfellas or My Blue Heaven, you know about witness protection. And basically, this is a sheriff in the town of or the police chief in the town of Baraboo, Wisconsin, which is circus world basically, and that's real. And it just reminded me that someday I would like to visit just to see, is it a tourist trap now, or is it fun? I don't know, but I would love to see one day. Anyway, it has also been like a lazy federal agent has been using it as a witness protection point, if you will, where a lot of people have been, criminals have been dumped there. And it's very clear that the lead is, meant to be for Nathan Fillion. And he didn't write the script, but I'm sure he plotted. And so I'm kind of torn because normally, just celebrities creating properties for themselves is, I don't know. It often rubs me the wrong way, but it's Nathan Fillion who has been so involved in fandom for so long that I'm going to give him a pass, because look, he's a charming actor, and I totally could see this being a fun role for him to play. And again, a good setup. There's a murder mystery. I won't go deep into it. It's not who or what you might think when you start reading the book. And so I dug it. Plus, there will be clowns. Oh, please, there will be clowns. Actually, there are, because the mayor apparently only communicates with a clown assistant. So anyway, that was Witness Point #1 from Image Comics. And I'd like to say, look at me. I've got a bunch of publishers this week. From Image Comics, #1 is the first, I guess, official spinoff from Exquisite Corpses, which is actually from Tiny Onion, James Tynan's imprint. And this, again, requires my magic. No, maybe I'll be okay. Written by Tyler Boss, art by Dylan Burnett, colors by Jordi Belair, sublime, and letters by Becca Carey. Excellent. But Rascal Randy is the serial killer who is basically a Pizza Time Theater character. Now, it's a, what do you call that? It's a mascot, and it's a little crazy. And this delves into the origin of why. And, I'll be honest. Look, this is 2026. Everything's an IP. You're building it out. I thought this was really good. It was really fun. Did I need it? No. I find Exquisite Corpses to be, just a perfect book and a collaboration among a lot of writers and artists. And it too is, if I may overuse the word in July, chilling. It is fun. And again, sometimes, the thing about killers is not knowing makes it much more fun. But knowing here, it's okay. And if it gives other creators a shot at, getting the little solo series, I don't know how many issues this is going to be, but I really, I dug this as well. And again, do you have to buy it to understand Exquisite Corpses? No. Do you want to buy it because you like Exquisite Corpses? Yes. So there you go. Rascal Randy #1, although it might be on the shelf under E because it's Exquisite Corpses has a little branding up above. There we go. The last one that I'm going to talk about this week is the Rocketeer Infiltrator. That's with an exclamation point. This is by Gabriel Hardman as the writer. Dean Kotz is the artist, and I'm not sure if I have seen Dean Kotz's art before or if it's Coates. So again, as always, tell me. I mean, I had to watch Supergirl to understand how to pronounce Bilky Evely's first name. The colorist is KJ Diaz, and the letterer is Sean Lee. And this is an interesting thing I want to say about IDW's take on the Rocketeer is they can jump around in style, tone. It's great. So, like, there was the Rocketeer, The Island, which was written by an acquaintance, John Layman, who I love. I loved the book. It was an excuse to put in a lot of public domain characters in. So there's Popeye, Dun Dun, and King Kong, or just Kong. I'm not sure if you can call him King in the public domain. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. And that was taking place pre-World War II. This is now clearly deep into World War II, and it's more the Rocketeer as a reluctant fighter in World War II, and they're using Betty Page to infiltrate, actually, and or Jenny Page, if you prefer, Jenny Blake, right? And no, it's Betty in the comics, and so where The Island was this big, bright, cartoony, fun art, and great for kids. I mean, not that this is bad; it's just a much more serious book, and so Cliff Secord is posing as Betty's brother, and they are infiltrating a German film studio production company. And it's interesting. It's kind of driving me to think when I have spare time as I'm prepping for Comic-Con. I don't, but eventually we'll look and see, like, did any of that kind of thing happen? I mean, obviously there was a very active film industry in World War II in Germany, as well as obviously everywhere else. But to have an American actor go over there, I don't know if that had happened, if there was anyone accused of being a traitor, or if anyone spied by doing that. But it's intriguing, and it's not quite Dave Stevens' art, and that's the problem with the Rocketeer is, to some of us old fans, this is indelibly linked to its creator, which is a good thing. Dave Stevens came upon a great idea and executed it so beautifully, and it caught people's attention, and there's many ways into it, and sometimes I kind of blow hot and cold on doing it differently or doing it too much like the original. I don't know. I can't make up my mind, but so far I'm enjoying the Rocketeer Infiltrator! Exclamation point. Once again, want to say, do pay attention to Comic-Con schedule, and that Friday I will be running like heck. If you see me from 4:50 to 5 p.m., please don't get in my way. Please, I'll say hi any other time, but not there. And I'm lining up other things, interviews, etc., because that's what I do. I'm also hoping to meet up with my friend David Reddish. And so this is completely unsolicited shout out to the David Reddish Show on YouTube. I'm very much enjoying that. And, sometimes I let it roll a few days without watching it, and then I catch up and I go, oh my gosh, did I miss that? And then sometimes I go, oh man, I'm really glad I missed that news story, and can, be calmly outraged in the aftermath. So the David Reddish Show is a channel on YouTube. Please check it out. And Jeff May, also unsolicited, just a guy I like, and I've been started listening to his podcast, stand-up comedian who will be performing at a club in Comic-Con. I'm not sure when. I haven't looked into the schedule myself. Know that he has a panel or two. So, check out Jeff. I don't know if David has yet. I have to reach out. So I'm looking forward to Comic-Con. So much excitement will be happening. And, so if you're there, I hope you recognize me and say hi. And as always, there are a lot of podcasts out here. In fact, I'll cross paths with, of course, the guys from the Writers Block podcast I admire quite a bit. So that you took some time to listen to me babble about comics, it, it warms my heart. And I mean, that's going to be in one of my panels. Poor Jim Owsley. Now, a good friend who said, I'd love to have you on a panel. It's like, of course. Why am I doing two back-to-back panels? Because I love talking about comics. I absolutely love talking about comics. And so if you do too, please, say hi. And if I missed a book and you thought, oh, that was really cool, you're not reading this one, please let me know. You can write into editor@fanboyplanet.com. You can comment here on the YouTube channel or on the page on Fanboy Planet in which I've embedded this video. And, in the meantime, and as always, use your powers for good.